The quiet farmlands of northern Thailand, peaceful and serene, were shattered by a gruesome discovery. A British millionaire and his Thai wife were found buried beside a duck pen on their family estate. The revelation sent shockwaves through the local community, a place unaccustomed to such horror. Strangely, their valuable assets, cash, jewelry, possessions, remained untouched. Only one thing was missing: a recently purchased pickup truck. Authorities reviewed CCTV footage, and a chilling clue emerged. Two unidentified individuals were seen breaking into the farm. One of them drove off in the stolen truck, vanishing into the night. As the investigation stalled, a neighbor's unexpected testimony cracked the case wide open. When the true perpetrator was unmasked, locals were left in utter disbelief. How could someone once seen as compassionate, devoted to temple life, commit such a heinous act? What deep-seated grudge led to the tragic demise of this wealthy couple? Let's unravel this shocking crime. But first, ensure you subscribe to the channel for timely updates on gripping true crime stories. This chilling case began in Phrae Province, northern Thailand, on September 19. Millionaire couple Alan Hogg and his wife Suddaen had planned to meet friends in Chiang Mai. But when they failed to appear and their phones went unanswered, concern turned to alarm. Alan, a British national, was known for his unwavering punctuality. He would never miss an engagement without prior notice. Days passed, with no sign of the couple. Their worried friends decided to act. One of them volunteered to visit their estate in Phrae to investigate firsthand. On September 23, the friend arrived at Alan's expansive property. He conducted a thorough search of the villa, but found no trace of the couple. Strangely, Alan's phone remained plugged into its charger. Their luggage, their belongings, all untouched, clear indicators they hadn't left voluntarily. Even more suspiciously, the couple's newly purchased pickup truck was nowhere to be found. As the friend inspected further, a chilling discovery stopped him cold. Bloodstains scattered across the dressing room. Fearing the worst, he immediately contacted the police. Authorities from Phrae Province arrived swiftly. They gathered witness statements and launched an extensive search. Alan and Nod's luxurious three-story villa stood on a vast 32-acre estate, orchards lined fish ponds, making the investigation daunting. Additional officers were called in to assist. Then, one officer noticed something unusual. A recently disturbed patch of soil near the duck pond, starkly different from the rest of the garden. Sniffer dogs were deployed. Upon reaching the site, they barked furiously. Suspecting the worst, police brought in an excavator to dig into the fresh soil. After nearly 2 hours of digging, the grim truth emerged. Alan and Nod's bodies, buried 2 meters deep beside the duck pen. Chaos erupted as friends and family grappled with the horrifying discovery. The victims' remains were transported to a forensic facility to determine the cause and time of death. Meanwhile, investigators ramped up their efforts, collecting evidence, questioning those connected to the couple. Their daughter, Alan Hogg, flew in from the UK, determined to uncover the truth. Originally from Edinburgh, Scotland, Alan Hogg was a respected engineer and businessman. While vacationing in Thailand, he fell in love with Suddaen, a local woman. Alan, once the director of Clayfall, a specialist dry cleaning company, held 575 shares before selling it in July 2017. He also managed Sherwood Edinburgh, another company he later sold. Despite their travels between the UK and Thailand, the couple settled in Phrae in 2014. Embracing a peaceful countryside lifestyle, their brutal murders would soon shake the foundation of this quiet community. The forensic report painted a brutal picture. Alan had suffered 2 fatal gunshot wounds. Nod, bludgeoned to death with a wrench. The estimated time of death, September 18. Just 1 day before their scheduled meeting in Chiang Mai. Investigators theorized the killer must have been someone they knew. The bodies, buried on their own property, suggested familiarity. Nod's relatives described Alan as generous, often helping family financially. Nod herself was known for her kindness, her devotion to caring for her disabled younger brother. Friends and neighbours confirmed it. The couple had no known enemies, deepening the mystery. Police scoured surveillance footage, and a breakthrough emerged. Alan's missing white Ford Ranger, seen being driven away by none other than Warut Satchakit, Nod's 63-year-old brother. Authorities launched a manhunt, but Satchakit had already fled the province. Locals struggled to believe it. He was well liked, often seen helping others, volunteering at temples. Yet, some of Nod's relatives hinted at tension, a far more sinister motive lurking beneath the surface. Over the years, friction had grown between Alan and his brother-in-law. Alan, a meticulous businessman, held high expectations for the farm's management. Satchakit, older and slower, clashed with his pace. As the poultry farm expanded, tensions mounted. Nod, frustrated with her brother's inefficiency, his resistance to criticism, sided with her husband. Eventually, she and Alan made a tough call. They evicted Satchakit from their farm. That decision ignited a deadly rage. Fueled by resentment and fear of losing his home and livelihood, Satchakit hatched a sinister plan. Police suspected he didn't act alone. Further investigation revealed he'd approached a neighbour, Sumit Famine, offering payment to help eliminate Alan and Nod. Sumit refused to kill, but he connected Satchakit to two hired hands, Pir Kamai 63 and Kapang Kamang 24. Their grill was sealed for 50,000 baht. On September 18, under Satchakit's guidance, the plan unfolded. Player ambushed Alan at the duck pen, shooting him twice. Meanwhile, Kapang subdued Nod in the kitchen, dragging her to the garage. There, Satchakit struck her repeatedly with a wrench. The trio then dug a 2-meter grave near the pond, burying the bodies. They sold the stolen truck to fund their escape. But despite their efforts to erase evidence, forensic analysis tied the wrench to the murder. A major break came when the truck was traced and recovered. Confronted with overwhelming evidence, Satchakit confessed. The court found him guilty of masterminding the murders. He and his accomplices were sentenced to death. Sumit, who'd made the introductions, received 25 years for cooperating with authorities. The case left a deep scar on the community. Locals struggled to reconcile Satchakit's past kindness with his brutal betrayal. The tragic murders of Alan and Nod Hogg exposed a harrowing truth. Family feuds can turn deadly. Their deaths, driven by greed, resentment, sent ripples across Thailand and beyond. Though justice was served, nothing could undo the loss. As this case closes, it stands as a stark reminder. Darkness can lurk beneath even the most familiar faces.